And the last 2-pack for the Minimates from the Iron Man 2 Minimates. Today's toy spot, we're going to be looking at the 2-pack featuring a Hammer drone as well as Happy Hogan. And if I was to say pass on any set, I'd probably say would pass on this one right here. I'll get into that in a second, but in the meantime, let's have a look at the package. The package features both the Hammer drone at the bottom as well as Happy Hogan. Hammer drone on the side, Happy Hogan. On the back of the package, the other figures in this wave, we've got the Mark V, we've got Pepper Potts, Happy Hogan. We got, I believe, to be the Mark IV. I think it is the Mark IV. I'm trying to remember here. The War Machine, the Hammer drone, and then finally the first appearance of Whiplash. The read-up on the Hammer drone says, created using a fusion of technologies from Stark Industries, Hammer's own company, and Whiplash's improvisations, the Hammer drones are immensely powerful and potentially lethal in the wrong hands. Happy Hogan, not only Tony Stark's bodyguard and chauffeur, Happy Hogan is also one of the closest advisors. As events unfold, however, Happy finds himself torn between his friendship with Tony and his feelings for another. Uh-oh. But that is packaging on the 2 Minimates. What we'll do is we'll get this opened up and we will have a better look at both the Hammer drone as well as Happy Hogan. Stay tuned. I also forgot to mention that this is the variant of the set. It's the Happy Hogan and the drone here. Alright, so let's have a look first at Happy Hogan. And I think this is such the wrong character to be throwing into this wave. There were so many other figures that they could have put in this set, and Happy Hogan really would have been the last pick for me. The same issue I had with the Pepper Potts, I have a big issue with Happy Hogan. Unless you have Happy Hogan stacked up with the rest of your Minimates, and more importantly the Iron Man 2 Minimates, I don't think anyone would be able to look on the shelf and say to you, oh, that's a nice looking Happy Hogan Minimate. I don't think anybody would have any clue who this guy is. In fact, if I was to bring in the Pepper Potts, I would almost think that they look more like Dana Scully and Fox Mulder than Happy Hogan and Pepper Potts. Mind you, of course, their outfits are a little different, and Pepper Potts' hair is blonde. But Pepper Potts, I can at least explain the fact that she was in the movie and she plays more of a crucial role. But why, I don't know why, they picked Happy Hogan for the other Minimate. They certainly could have picked a Whiplash in his own suit as a Minimate. They certainly could have thrown in the Formula One Tony Stark in his race car outfit. That would have been a good pick. They could have picked Rhodey in his military outfit. Even throw in Hammer. They even could have thrown in Hammer. They could have easily thrown in Whiplash in just his work outfit with his hair in a ponytail and his little bird. They could have done that. I don't know if I would have necessarily picked Happy Hogan. That's the thing. Now he has several accessories, even more that don't make any sense. He's got boxing gloves here. And I don't remember him having a suit on when he's actually boxing, so the fact of giving him boxing gloves as interchangeable hands, I think is one of those I don't understand why kind of things. He also does come with a set of handcuffs, which is at least neat because they are real chains. And finally, I think the coolest part, which is actually even cooler than Happy Hogan, he does come with a Mark V briefcase. So at least, if anything, you've got a briefcase for the Mark V. In the way of his articulation, He has articulation in the head. Once again, the hair kind of moves around on you. You have articulation in the shoulders, which a bit hindered because of the fact he's got this suit upper torso going on there. But you can certainly bend the arms out as well. You can bend the elbows, rotate the hand, rotate the waist, although the waist doesn't want to move a lot either just because of this piece. You can bend the knees, and you can also wiggle the feet. The legs can also bend out too, which I don't know if I always point out. The legs can also bend out. So there is Happy Hogan. Not certainly my favorite of this set. And you just lay down. It also does come with a hammer drone. Funny, looks really a lot like the hammer drone that came with Pepper Potts. Oh, it is. Generally with variants, the other figure always tends to be usually the same figure, and then they always just swap out the variant. I don't know, the fact that they packaged a variant with Happy Hogan, I think could have been a good opportunity for them to repaint one of these guys in a camo color, but at least it gives you somewhat of an army builder that you get two of these hammer drones. Same articulation as the Pepper Potts version. The head slightly turns, which this one always is stiff on me. This one doesn't even want to move, leading me to believe again that this head is actually part of the torso that's been mounted on a Minimate body. The arms can move back and forth, in and out. You can bend the elbow. You can't rotate the hand. You can rotate the waist ever so slightly. The legs can bend out slightly. They can't really bend back and forth too much just because of this cod piece here. If you can think of a robot as having a cod piece. You can bend the knee, and that really is about it. So kind of cool that you get two hammer drones. I kind of think it's a missed opportunity though. They could have probably given him a camo deco and released it as one of the hammer drones from the end of the movie. This guy is not bad. This guy though, I think this guy could have easily been a better figure. And for all the characters I've already listed in the review, any one of them could have easily swapped in for this guy here. Heck, you could have even thrown in a Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury. And I would have been a lot happier than just a guy in a suit. Which really, that's all he is. He's a guy in a suit who, again, if you told me it was Happy Hogan, I'd be like, okay, I'll take your word for it. So while I do like this guy, the Happy Hogan, even though he's a guy, he's a nice guy in a suit, I'm going to give a 4 to. Just, again, one of the examples where a Minimate, it's not always, they don't always look as like the character as easy as some others do, and looking at this guy, you would never know that he's Happy Hogan. So this set is a bit of a pass. I think if you had to get one of the sets of the two, I would say get the Pepper Potts version and probably just leave this guy. So that was a toy spot. Today we're looking at the last set of the Iron Man 2 Minimates figures. Today we're looking at yet another hammer drone and a bit of a disappointing Happy Hogan. So with that, I'll wrap this up here, and I'll see you guys next time.